at our first example in file processing. So in order to process a file in a C program, we need to complete few steps. The first step is to process a file in a C program is to create a file pointer. So in order to create a file pointer, we need to declare a file pointer with the data type of file. So this is a structured data type. This data type is defined in the usually our standard input and output header file. Then what we need to do, we need to create a file pointer using the file data type, that is a structured data type, and we're going to create a file pointer. So in order to create a pointer variable, first we need to put a star sign. Then you can give any name for your file pointer. So in here I have given the name fp. So this statement basically will create a file pointer in your program. So if you want to process a file in a C program, so this is the first step that you need to complete. You need to create a file pointer. So why do we need to create a file pointer? File pointer allow us to hold or store the open file in my program memory. So that is why we need to declare a file pointer as the first step in order to process a file in a C program. The second step that you need to do in a C program in order to process a file, that is you need to open the file using the fopen command. So fopen command allow us to open a file using a specified mode. So fopen command will take two arguments. First argument will be the file path including the file name. The second argument will be the what is the mode that we want to open a file. So if you provide these two arguments for the fopen command, then it will successfully open the file and it will attach that file into the file pointer variables, that is fp variable in my memory. Right? So file path can be given in two different ways. So we can give the absolute path. So absolute path means you need to specify, let's say C colon, you need to specify the folder name that you have. Likewise, you need to give the absolute path in here including the file name. So this is the one way that you can give the file path to the fopen command. Right? So but this way is not recommended, because if you provide the absolute path, that will work only for the program, that will only work for the file path exactly match in the computer system. So it most probably, if you want to run the same program in a different computer, you have to change the absolute path again. So this is kind of a time consuming and tiresome task. Because of that, we will go with the specifying the file path with the second way, that is the specifying the file path using the relative path. So relative path means it will specify the file path relative to the where you have stored your program. So this is the example for relative path. So here I have just given the file name only to the file path, because I'm telling to my C compiler or C computer, so you want to look at the file which is currently inside the folder where I have stored my example1 program. So it's looking for the same folder for the student.txt. And if I want to look at the one level above to this folder, so that means I can specify this way in the relative path. So that means I'm giving the path relative to the where my current program is exists, or where the current program file is located. So if you given the file path like this, then I'm telling, okay, you can find the student.txt one level above my folder structure. Wherever I am right now executing my program, you can find the student.txt file one level up in my folder structure. So that is how you can specify the file path relative to your wherever you have saved your program. right? So there are two different ways that you can give the file path. That one way is the absolute path. Second way is the relative path, relative to the wherever you have stored your current executable program, right? The second argument that you need to give for the if open command is the file mode, file opening mode. So in our previous video, we have talked about three different modes. Those are R mode, stand for read mode, which will basically allow us to read information from a file. The second mode is the W mode, or we call it as the write mode, that allow us to write something into our external file. And the third mode is the A mode or the append mode, that also allow write something to our external file, but it won't erase the existing content in that file when we are writing into that external file. So those are the three basic modes of the file opening modes in C program. So in here I have used the R mode. So that means basically I'm telling to my compiler, okay, open the student.txt file that is currently stored in the same folder that you have executed the program. Open that file for reading purposes. Open with the read mode. So that means I'm telling to computer, I'm trying to read the information from this file, right? So that is the second step that you need to complete in order to process a file in a C program. Then the third thing that you need to do, probably if you open a file using read mode, so you need to read something from a external file. So if you want to read something from an external file, the most common command that you can use is the scanf command. So this is a extension version of our standard scanf function. Scanf function will read some information from the standard input stream, that is std in. Scanf will allow us to read some information from the file stream, right? So that is the difference between the scanf and the scanf. So if you want to use the scanf, you have to specify three things, three arguments. If you remember the scanf, you just need to specify only two things, right? So scanf, you need to specify the what is the value that you want to read and the address of that variable, right? So this is the two things that we need to specify with the scanf function. But if you're using the scanf function, you need to specify three arguments. The first argument will be the what is the file pointer that you're planning to read the values. So I'm telling to scanf, okay, I want to read the values from my fp file stream. So that is the file stream that I want to read the values. The second thing I want to specify in the scanf, what is the data type or what is the value I want to read from the file stream that I have specified. So in here I'm telling I want to read the integer value from the fp file stream. Then the third argument for the scanf, what is the location that I want to store that integer that I have read from the fp file stream. So I want to store into my marks variable that I have declared at the beginning of my program, right? So that is the three things that we need to specify in the scanf function. Why do we need to specify this fp in this scanf function? So if in a given program, there can be multiple file stream open in your program. So if you just look at for the standard scanf function, you don't have to specify the input stream because scanf function usually read from the your std in or the standard input stream. But if you look at the scanf, if you have multiple file streams are open in your program, then computer doesn't know which file stream you need to read the values. So because of that, in the first argument, you need to specify which file stream you need to read the values. So that is the first argument that you need to provide for the scanf function. Then you need to specify what is the type of the value that you want to read from the file stream. Then you need to specify what is the location that you want to store that value that you have read from the scanf command. Then in the next line, what I'm going to do, I'm just printing the whatever the value that I have read from the file. into the standard output stream. So that's the end of our file processing. Then once you complete your file processing command, the next important command that you need to keep in mind, so you need to close the whatever the open file in our program, right? So in order to close the file, we can use the fclose command, and then within the parenthesis we can specify which file pointer we want to close it, right? So that is the next important command that you need to keep in mind when you are processing a file. So why it is important to close the file at the end of the file processing? Because if you do not close the fclose, if you do not close your file pointers, or if you do not close the open file in your program, then accidentally if your C program crash in the middle, then all the open file will be hanging in your memory. So if you keep opening these files over and over again, and if your program started to crash in the middle without reaching to the end of your program, then all these files will be hanging in your memory for forever until your machine will be restarted. So if you continuously do that, then if you have a low memory device, then your memory will be quickly filled it up, and then your computer will be get stuck. So in order to avoid that one, it's always better to close open the all the open files before end of your program. Then it won't running into a memory overflow problem in your low memory device settings. So that is how we can process a file, and that is how we can read the values from a file. Let's look at how the execution happen in this program, right? So always C programs start the execution with the first statement inside the my main function. So when C program start executing the program, so it will first thing it will create the main function memory, right? So this is the main function memory. And the first statement inside my main function is the I'm declaring a variable called marks. So it will create a variable called marks. So this is the marks variable in my memory, right? The next thing that I want to do, that I'm executing in my program, is that I'm declaring a file pointer. So what is the file pointer means? It will declare a file pointer in my computer memory, right? At the beginning, it is not pointing to, this is a pointer variable. So we have indicating a pointer variable with using a little arrow. So this is we called as fp, that is our file pointer variable, right? So when you open a file, the file will be attached to this file pointer, right? So after execution of this statement, so this is how my memory look like. I have a file pointer right now. It is not pointing to anywhere else. Basically you can think as it is pointing to null file pointer at the beginning, right? So when you just declare that file pointer, it is now right now it is pointing to the null file pointer. Then what we are trying to do, we are trying to execute this statement in line 18. So that is it has a equal sign, that means it is a assignment state. So in the assignment statement, what it will do, it will try to open a file. It will open a file in my current folder, a file called student.txt. So it will open the student.txt file, and it will open with the read mode. So after execution of this statement, what will happen? It will open the file, and it will assign that open file into my fp file pointer. So after execution of this statement, so my student file will get opened. So I'm going to erase this. So this will be my student.txt, and it will be open, and it will be attached to my file pointer called fp. This is the my student.txt file. So if you look at the content of the student.txt file, so let's look at the content of the student.txt file. So it has 7580. So that means in my memory, this has 75 and 80. Right? So that is how my memory look like after execution of this statement. This is how my program memory look like. Right? Now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to do the if scanf. So I'm trying to scan if from my fp file stream. So at the beginning, my reading cursor will be at the beginning of my file, right? Then I'm reading the integer value. So integer value means it will read the sequence of integers until it finds the space or new line character or tab line character. So then it will read this 75 and it will store that 75 into my marks variable. So after execution of this statement, if scanf statement, so my 75 will be stored in my marks variable, right? So after reading that 75, my reading cursor will be goes to the next space. So the space between 75 and 8, right? So now I have executed this if scanf statement. Now I'm printing marks equal percentage sign d new line. So that means my output will get equal to it will be marks equal 80. So this is my program output, right? Now at the end of the program, after printing that statement, at the end of my program, I have the if close command. So what will happen if I execute this if close statement in my program? So basically it will, after executing of this if close fp command, my file pointer now will point into a null file pointer, right? So this will point into a, so after execution of if close fp, then my file pointer will be pointing to a null file pointer. That means this memory related to my student.txt will be hanging there. So my program or my computer can use that memory to some other task, because now it is not attached into my main function. That memory is right now hanging in my main memory or the RAM, because it's not attached to my program. So that is the basically what we are doing after execution of the if close fp command. So I'm basically assigning this file pointer into a null file pointer. So that is what I'm going to do at the end of my program, right? So this is how the execution happened, and that is how the memory will be displayed or memory will be allocated in the program execution. Let's try to compile this program and execute and see the output of this program. So I'm going to compile the example1 program. And if I execute this program, you can see I'm getting the expected output. Sorry, I need to get this one as 80. Right? Sorry about that. So this value should be 80, right? My output will be 75, right? So not the 80, right? So because I'm reading the 75 from my file stream, so output will be 75. That is what we have received from our program execution. I hope everyone is cleared with this example. Let's move on to our next example in our next video.